All right, next up we've got is it Pavel? Pavel? I don't know. Heavy breathing. Yeah, the consistency of color is really good. But yeah. Oh no, what is happening? What did I click on? This is why I like just the Artstation link. I'm sorry, I'm going to your Artstation. Dang, there's a lot of stuff in here. So I appreciate the the tagged stuff here. Yeah, I just reviewed your I just reviewed your portfolio. And we're done. Post your stuff. It's good. If you go back to my VODs, you can go back to the I basically said post your stuff in portfolio so people hire. So I appreciate that these are labeled mobile and like you've got like the names of like what you worked on if it's just a block out. So you want to be a level artist / designer. So those kind of go those go kind of hand in hand, but at the same time, depending on the size of the studio, will be one or the other. And if the studio is really small, then it's like you will possibly be doing both. Yeah, I mean you've got a bunch of stuff in here. What is kitbash 3D? It's a website, and then this is like a challenge. All right, so it's a free kit from kitbash 3D and some quick edits. It's interesting. Yeah, there's. So the only thing I would say with this that bugs me is there's no rhyme or reason to what the cars are doing here. They almost look like they might even be falling out of the sky. He's like, all right, let's do this. And he squeezed his hand together. And then when he opened it was like an EMP and like all the electric cars in the sky are just falling. And he's like, game over. It's over. Compositionally, this is pretty cool. Man, there's a bunch of stuff in here. I don't even know. So I guess I'm a little overwhelmed then. So you're doing a lot of kit bashing or scene building with existing content, which I mean, that's like level art, right? But I don't know. Let me see if you built this one. I don't know what you've built. Does that make sense? You had the opportunity to create several props for cinematic teaser for upcoming mobile FPS. Dude, that's cool. Okay, so you made this. There's some nice material separation here. It's like the way the roughness is different between all of the different materials. Nice. Nice. And you see it. So I'm assuming this is the roughness. Yeah. You can see how much range there is in there. There's nothing fully white and nothing seems to be fully black. There's this guy here, which I assume is the darkest thing in here. Where is it at? It's right here. Yeah, and I think that's why material-wise this is looking so interesting is there's something happening with the roughness on everything. Some of it really glossy, some of it not so much, or really rough, and some of it really like shiny. And that's really going a long ways, I think. This is why it's important to have so much range in your roughness. Oh, wow, look at that. Looks like my phone. Gross. Gross. Dang, these are some models. So this must have been for the trailer. What? Wait, what? Oh, it's for these. I'm like, what is this? The wrinkles here. So you put the wrinkles in the roughness. Like the... Interesting. I mean, that's not physically what is happening, so it's not physically correct. But the way that the light moves around on it, I'd be curious to see what that looks like. Ooh, I've done that to my phone. I feel it. But yeah, I'd be curious to see what's going on with this in when it's moving around. I think there's some serious bevels going on in here. Wait, let me see the... Interesting. Okay. So I'm looking at this handle here. So the way the roughness is reading with the edges here might be a little overdone. Or just not broken up enough to not look so generated in that sense. Not procedural, but generated. It's like where the mask is just kind of filling in all of the sharp edges. So I mean, this stuff overall looks fine, especially for mobile. It's pretty crazy. So with these kitbash scenes, oh, I was gonna say I would love to see how these are put together. Dang, that wireframe though. I wonder if you create these in like one go. So giving you a focal point in this scene, I think if I go up here, right now everything is pretty evenly lit. So it's kind of hard to look at like what's the focus. Like if you want to tell a story, like there's stuff happening up here. I guess these are the sentinels. I don't know. But seeing material wise, I'm not sure what is this like a corrugated surface? Like a corrugated metal? So like compositionally, it's kind of all over the place. So if you're wanting to be a level designer or a level artist, or game designer. Wait, what were you saying here? Let me make sure I'm saying this all right. Yeah, designer, level artist, designer. I'm not sure what you mean by designer. If it's a level designer and a level artist, so a level designer is building the space out and blocking it out for gameplay, and usually they're building it in a way where the space is presented to you so that you know where you need to go or the direction you're supposed to be going. And then a level artist is doing all of the art on top of it while maintaining the vision of the level designer. And they'll go back and forth as well if it's two people, or if it's just you, then you would do the block out, get it all approved, and then do the art pass on top of it, and then get that approved. But having a focal point or a place you're supposed to be going to is going to be really important. And one of the biggest things to help you with that is lighting, followed by color and contrast. So if you look at the lighting, I would say this is the brightest point. So initially you look here or you'll look here. So one or the other. I think I'm naturally going to look here, but I think some people will look here. And then you look up because you're like, oh, what are these? And then, I mean, then you don't know where to look. And then you just kind of look around and you're like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's okay. All right. Yeah. You look around, but you're not, you need to give us a focus. Tell a story. Stories are super, super important. Like I need to know, was there a road here? And this used to be here. There was a highway that went this way. Like really push those details. Like if there was a highway, like draw that path, right? So like, let's see if we can, like if this was a road, right? scale wise for something big like this, 405, this is going to be like multi-lane. Between, I don't know, 2 and 5 lanes wide if you're using signs like this. So 405 is a interstate. So with that, you could have the road that goes up into that's like elevated and then goes into a huge roundabout thing, and there's like all the roads that go under it and the supports. And then you have the plane that crashes that cracked this and all these pieces fall down, and having this more bent and kind of destroyed. But then depending on how much foliage growth is on here will tell you how long it's been, right? So there's like you have to tell stories. You have to say what it was before. That has to make sense. Then you have to destroy it and age it in a logical way. Right now, this is kind of all like kind of plastered together. So hopefully that makes sense. And then I think when I'm looking at this, I would love to know more than that this is kitbash 3D. Like I need to know what these are. See, there's some story in this one, which is really good. Dang, it started as an alley, huh? Oh, and then you open it up. Yeah, that's cool. It's really interesting how you like what you're building here. This sign here does not make sense unless this road is like a highway again. So it's understanding how these are put together. But yeah, trying to think what else you could. I think where it's breaking down is compositionally. Like this one is telling a story, and then it's more of the logistics of what the space is around them. Making sure that it makes sense logically is going to be really important. But definitely you've got the focus on what's happening here. It's just making sure that the environment in the background makes sense. Getting some scale in there. Yeah, that final shot is quite strong. It's just there's stuff going on here that's kind of maybe conflicting with focusing on him. I don't know what else to say. I'm trying to think here if there's just think logically about everything in the environment. Like, is there a sidewalk here? Is this an entryway into a place? Like, there should be an edge somewhere. Is this like a back alley road thing? Where's the trash cans if that's the case? They're probably here. I just don't see them. Make sure stuff's not clipping. I think this beam is like this pipe is coming out further than it should. So it's making it look like this couch is clipping. Either way. Ooh, glitchy, buddy. I'll tell you in a minute here. So this all looks pretty cool. I would just organize this so it's not so busy. Maybe condense the mobile selection. But I guess it depends on what you want to be doing. If you want to get into AAA, I would shrink these down to a single tile or move them to the blog, and really just kind of like start moving away from mobile and going towards building scenes with strong composition, strong lighting, interesting storytelling, all that jazz. And yeah, I love this, by the way. This is cool. All right, I'll be right back. We're going to look at the next portfolio.